Hey, welcome to the Create a Life That Is Beautiful podcast. I'm your host, Leticia Ringe, and this is the space to be for high vibe people looking to create a beautiful life and business. Let's do this. Welcome back to the podcast, my beautiful friends. I am Leticia Ringe, your host, and it's a pleasure, as always, to be here with you all today. How are you all? I hope you're doing so well. As I sit here to record this episode, I am sitting in 30-degree weather. It's hot. I've been sweating, and there's no way to escape the heat. So that's where I'm at the moment, but it also has been quite beautiful because I've been spending the weekend at the beach, and the water has been warm enough for me to actually enjoy it. And so that has been really wonderful. We've also just wrapped up our first week in the Holistic Business Mistress Mind, and we've done all of our one-to-one inner voice sessions. I've got one more person to do this week, and otherwise this week we've been diving into all of our strategy sessions. It's been so fun. I've been sharing information with all of our members about their human design and how that relates to their business and the way that they sell. And we've also been talking about their astrology and about their holistic business map, which is this amazing document I take everyone through to really come up with a strategy and intentional plan for their businesses. So I'm really excited to continue doing those this week and for everybody to have that clarity that really just, helps you to move forward in your business and get rid of all the distractions and all the questions and possibilities and instead just focus and move forward. And then we kick off our first Mistress Mind call this weekend for those of you who are in the US and Monday for me here in Australia. And I'm really, really excited about that because the Mistress Mind container just has an incredible power for really helping people rise. So that's what's going on in my life at the moment. Last week I did 17 calls. I had 2 group calls and 14 one-to-one calls and then another one-to-one call. We had a couple of people sign up at the last minute to join us. We still have a couple more spots. If anybody else wants to join us in the Mistress Mind, you can do so. Just head to leticiaringe.com/Mistress Mind. But why I wanted to share that with you is because it was amazing because I was so energized. As I mentioned in the last episode, I really have cracked the code with my energy, and it has been about just allowing myself to do things completely offline and away from people and in with nature and connected to my body to balance out the time on screen, the time with people, the time thinking and being more in that mind energy. So that was a really incredible experience for me last week. And this week I'm taking that with me again. And also we're preparing now for our Create Your Beautiful Biz, the mentorship. So not the program, the mentorship, which is a 4-month sales mentorship that I am running with a small group of you to help you make sales for the first time in your businesses. I'm so excited to start this because learning how to sell, no matter at what stage you are in your business journey, is the number one thing we need to learn as business owners so that we can serve our community, so that we can create a sustainable business, so that we can also create the holistically thriving life that we want. And once you learn that skill, it's one you have for life that you can take to every business you go into, but also into your personal life where we're selling ourselves every single day. And so that's why today I felt really excited to share this workshop that I held for everybody at the end of last year, because sales is the number one thing that you can learn in your business. And so I really wanted everyone to have access to this information. Now, if anybody is wanting to have support, a container to help you 2 weeks at a time as you start making sales in your business, it will be focused on that. You'll also get enrolled into Create Your Beautiful Biz, my online program and course and community at no extra cost to you. And you will have this beautiful small group of people, including myself, to focus specifically on sales over 4 months beginning in February. If anybody's interested in joining us in that, you can go to leticiaringe.com/CYBB mentorship. And if you've got any questions or you want to have a chat about it, feel free to send me an email. But make sure you get in touch soon because we kick off at the start of January. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce today's topic just a little bit more. We're going to also cover receiving money, when to increase your prices, whether or not to do free exchanges with people in your life, including friends and family, what my opinion is on whether to offer things for free to friends and family, the difference between attracting versus repelling people, how to handle no's, failure, and how to recognize your value, as well as the components of an offer. So this workshop today is going to cover a lot of questions that I know so many of you have. So just enjoy this episode. Make sure you take notes. And I had, after recording this workshop, when I ran it live, I had someone email me overnight and say, just from listening to the workshop and then implementing what I'd said, they'd already signed a new client. So that's all it takes from today until the next. It can take one day to be in a completely different space in your business. And it's because it's really not about what we do. It's a little bit about what we do, but it's about the energy we fuel our actions with. So if you show up from a different energetic space, which is what today's workshop's going to help you to do when it comes to selling, it means you'll have different outcomes. So you may even do the exact same thing, but you've got a different energy behind it. And that might be just exactly the shift you need to make to start actually bringing in money into your amazing business. All right, my beautiful friends, enjoy the episode and I'll talk to you later. All right. Welcome, beautiful people. I am Leticia Ringe, and today we are going to chat all about how to make sales for the first time in your business. Now, this is focused on how we start making sales, but as always, everything that you're going to learn here, no matter where you're at along your business journey, is going to be really supportive of you making more sales in your business. But I'm really going to be speaking to some of the main concerns and things that stand in the way of us when we're starting to make sales for the first time. Because the beautiful thing to know is that what we actually come up against is ourselves when it comes to making money and making sales and working with clients. The reason that this is a really great thing is because it means that all of the power is within us to change that, to create a great relationship with money, to create a really authentic and beautiful relationship with selling, and to start working with our clients and therefore supporting them to create those transformations that we're supporting them to have. Right at the top of the call, I just want to say, for all of you as holistic business owners, you're all supporting people, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, no matter what you're doing, you are all supporting people in the world to transform in some way, to have more of something that they want. And that is a really, really beautiful thing. Now, in order for us to serve our community, the people that we're here to serve, the people that we love serving, in order to be able to do that, we have to learn how to sell. And there's so much to unpack when it comes to selling. But what I really want to get across as the very first thing today is just that selling is something that is of highest service to your clients. And it's also a new skill in some ways, but also something that we're doing all the time in other ways. Our belief of the world, whenever you're talking to someone and letting them know why you believe in something, when the way that we show up in the world, the way that we take care of ourselves and present ourselves, the way that we explain things, all of this is us selling a point of view, selling ourselves. If you've ever been to a job interview before, although they can feel really awkward, but we're always selling ourselves even when we don't think that we are. And so we really need to move beyond this icky way of looking at selling and instead see it as something that is an ordinary course in the ordinary course of life, just as it is an ordinary activity in business. And so we want to make friends with selling, and we want to just see it as something that's really beautiful, impactful, and authentic. And that's really what I hope I'm able to support you with today, because coming from that energy versus selling is icky, I need to hide because then I'm too full of myself, what will people think of me? That energy behind selling creates more of that energy, right? Whereas if we show up and we stand in ourselves and we say, hey, this is who I am and this is how I can help you, from this neutral place where you're not trying to force anyone, you're just showing up and sharing yourself. When we can do that, this is the best energy from which we can sell. And so that means it's also the highest way that we can be of service to others. I want to first start with one of the more obvious but often overlooked, absolutely necessary requirements of selling. The first is that in order to sell, we have to make an offer to someone. And in order to make sales, right? A sale means you receive money in your business in exchange for something that you're providing. So we're talking about how we make sales, and the process through making sales is selling. So in order to make sales, we have to make offers in our business. Now, in my experience supporting many business owners at all different stages of their business, this is the number one thing that we avoid. This is the number one thing that we don't want to do. We don't want to make offers. And one of the big reasons is because we fear rejection. We don't want people to reject us. So we fear people saying no. We also fear what other people will think of us if we're offering something in exchange for money. And this goes into our conditioning around, am I really worthwhile receiving money in exchange for a gift that I have? And so in this community, that fear is more pronounced because what we're doing is sharing the gifts that we were born to share. And we're being ourselves. And we know that that is enough in our businesses. So what happens is, because we've been so conditioned to be someone else out in the world, and that there's certain gifts that are worthwhile and valuable and others that are not, and particularly those ones that we might consider more feminine energy, not gender energy type of gifts, we have this internal voice in our head that's telling us that's not worthwhile, that's not valuable. You can't go out and share that. People are going to judge you. What will people think of you? Also, receiving money is greedy. So we have all of this conditioning around us, and this is something that we've got to change in order to show up and sell. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to change it before you can sell. Actually, what helps you to change it is going out there and moving forward and doing the work, even though you have this voice in your head, even though you feel scared, and even though those beliefs can feel really convincing. So actually, the way that we build confidence in our businesses is by going out and trying the thing, even though we feel really afraid and we're scared of rejection, we're scared of failure, we're scared of judgment. So I think it's really beautiful just to realize that these are fears that we all have. We all have the same minds. We all have the same fears. And what's so beautiful, the reason that I love to work in group experiences with my clients is because what they realize in a group container is that every single person there has the same fear as them. And that allows you to be more objective when you look at the fears that are coming up for you. It allows you to go, oh, I'm not my fear. And this is something that everyone experiences. So I'm not alone. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with me. And with that knowledge, I'm going to choose to move forward anyway, because I know that everybody else is going through this too. And that, yes, it feels uncomfortable, but I can see examples of other people who have felt this way and are still moving forward anyway. So really beautiful. So that's one of the key reasons why I love to work in groups, because it is very expansive for people to realize that they're not alone. So just know that everything we're going to go over today, if you are resonating and saying, yeah, that's me, don't see that as something that's wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You are exactly where you are today, in the most beautiful, perfect, amazing place you could possibly be, to work with clients, to be in business, to start making money, and to make those offers and to sell.
You are in the perfect place. You have everything you need exactly where you are today. And so even all of these foundational pieces, for instance, in my program, Create Your Beautiful Biz, which takes you through how to build your website, how to build a community, how to build a brand, how to understand your offer and launch it, and money mindset, and all of the things. All of these are really beautiful and important, but we don't have to have all of those in place before we can start making offers, before we can start working with clients, and before we can start making money. Your first offer could be something really simple, which is that I am going to offer 3 months of coaching or whatever it is that you do. And I'm going to help you go from A to B, whatever that A to B is that you want to support people with. And you could just let people know that and say, get in contact if that's something that you're interested in. And that could be your offer. It can really be that simple. And then all of the details will come later. So the very first step that we have to do to start making sales in our business is to start making offers. And so what I love to tell my clients is that just every day, ask yourself, what is one thing that I can do today to share my work with someone? That could be an individual. It could be on your social media. It could be at an event. It can be in the most creative ways that you can imagine. But if you just ask yourself that, and you ask it on top of that from your inner voice, you're going to be given the highest, most beautiful way to do that today. And then over time, through doing that, this is how you start working with people. That's it. That's really as simple as it is. So we have to make those offers. So if you're not making offers at the moment, and an offer is just, hey, this is how I can help you. Would you like me to help you? If you do, let me know. And then like having a conversation or sending people to a sales page, whatever it is for you, we just have to make the offer, right? If we don't, and I like to see an offer as an invitation. If we don't make the invitation, then people don't know that we have that to offer. And we've got to make them over and over and over and over again. You might have noticed if you've been in this holistic business community for Holistic Business Month, I have been repeatedly making invitations. I've been making invitations to join me in my Holistic Business Mistress Mind and in my mentorship and in my one-to-one deep dive. And I make these invitations over and over and over again versus saying, I've made that invitation once, so that's the only time I'm going to make the invitation. The reason that doesn't work in the way that we are all set up here in today's world is that we have so much information that we're all consuming, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. So our people, like you here, have not seen all of the offers that I've made. You haven't seen all of the invitations. And even if you have seen some of them, it will be one of the invitations that sparks something for you. So it's our job as business owners to make sure that no one in our community says, I wasn't aware that you were offering something. We got to keep offering, and it can feel quite repetitive. And actually, in terms of our messaging, in terms of marketing, that can feel repetitive too sometimes. I know with my messaging, I tend to talk a lot these days simply about business. I'm not talking as much about all of the other topics that I'm interested in. It's very focused on business because there's a lot to talk about. And that can feel like, oh, but I want to talk about all these other things. And I can if I am inspired to and want to. But what's more powerful for my community to support them to step into the possibility of what could be possible for them is to talk about the same messages over and over and over again. And so it's the same concept when it comes to our invitations. If we are constantly letting people know about how we can support them, they're going to become more aware of how we can support them. And then what that means is that person can make an informed decision about whether or not they want to work with us. So the way that we make an offer is never to try and convince someone and desperately be like, please work with me. It's about, this is who I am. This is what I can offer. This is how I can support you. And this is where you need to go if you'd like to work with me or find out more. Okay. So it's this neutral place. We're just showing up and being ourselves, making those invitations, and then allowing the person, the individual, to make that informed decision for themselves. That is it. So people need to know what you're offering. That is the first thing. The second thing we need to do is we need to charge for what we are offering. In order to make sales in your business, you have to charge in order to receive money into your business. And in order to create a sustainable business, we have to receive money. I've been talking about recently how last week I made $26,000, almost all of that in cash in my business. Over the past 6 months, I've made $100,000 in my business, and I'm scaling my business to multiple six figures. And this has all been during a pandemic, during 2020, during all of the chaos, during what has been quite a personally challenging year for me in terms of my personal life. I've had lots of things that I've been dealing with, but still I've been able to make money. But the only reason I can make money is because I continue to make invitations for people to join me, and I also continue to charge for what I do. Now, what we can fall, I'm going to say trap, but it's probably not a very useful word. It's a little bit more emotive than it needs to be. The trap that we can fall into as business owners is when we're first starting our business is that we don't want to charge for what we do. We want to offer a lot of things for free. We may even want to offer exchanges of, I'll provide you with something and you provide me with something. I highly encourage everybody that I work with that when they're starting to make sales in their business, that they do not do that. That yes, you might have a number of pro bono sessions that you're offering when you first are trialing out your method, the modality that you're trained in. So for instance, with coaches, you might do a coaching certification, and as a part of that, you need to do some pro bono sessions. Totally fine. You could also charge a small nominal amount for that. Like when I started my business and I offered coaching, I had a coaching package. The first 3 sessions were free. The third 3 sessions, I charged £25 per session. So it was £75 for the entire coaching. But to me, that was important to value myself and also for the person to be investing in themselves. And so just charging something is really great to get used to receiving. But once you've done those pro bono sessions, I really strongly encourage that you commit to not doing things for free and to avoiding exchanges as well. You don't have to be that super strict throughout your entire business. And there may be times when you offer things in exchange for something that's really valuable to you. Like you've got a group program and you need to fill the numbers. And so there's someone that would be really amazing, but they can't afford it. And so you offer, there's a place for someone there and you'd rather have someone in it than not. That's a really beautiful thing that you can do. You could offer that and ask them for feedback and testimonials and any other support that you need. That can be a really beautiful thing to do. But what we tend to do when we're starting our business is we say, well, I'll just do everything for free. But you have to get used to receiving money as a business owner. And the only way you can do that is if you charge for what you do. So the other beautiful thing to know here is that it's never the price that's actually the problem. We need to learn how to actually receive money, allow ourselves to receive money. And so what can help with that is knowing that the price is neutral. It takes the same amount of energy to sell something that's $25 versus something that's thousands of dollars. We're still selling, we're still receiving, and we still need to know how to sell, right? So the price it's irrelevant. You need to charge something, and only you will know what the right amount to charge is. Don't look at what everybody else is charging. Charge what feels right to you, and know that you can continue to increase that amount as you go along your business journey. There's no rule. You don't have to wait a year before you raise your prices. You can raise it after 3 clients, after 1 client. You could raise it tomorrow. You raise it when it feels right, because the most important thing is that it feels like a fair, energetic exchange. So my recommendation is to I know it feels hard, but commit to not selling anything for free in terms of whatever your paid offering and or product is, and don't do exchanges, even if it's just while you're getting into the momentum of receiving money. The reason for that is an exchange isn't going to teach you how to allow yourself to receive money. So it feels like, oh yeah, this is something that's better, but actually it's not good for either of you. You could do an exchange and both charge each other money. That's something that we did when we did our buddy sessions with Beautiful You in the coaching academy. My buddy and I, who were practicing on one another, we paid each other, right? We paid each other money so we could get used to receiving money. And that was really important. So I encourage you, and if someone says, hey, can we do this exchange? I would just encourage you to say, hey, I'm actually not doing exchanges, and only if you want to do the work as well. But I'd love to support you, and I'd also love to take you up on that offer. So how about we just pay what we're charging for both of these things? Or you could even say, if you don't want to do the exchange, but you would love them as a client, you can just say, hey, I'm not doing exchanges, but I'd absolutely love to support you. So if you want to know more, here's where you can go, right? And you just give them the sales page, or you can say, I'm very happy to have a chat. It costs XYZ. We have to really stand in our power. And that's the same with friends and family. You need to be valued for the work that you're doing. So you can't just have people expecting, because they know you, that you do everything for free. I would really stand in your power that this is what I charge, no matter who you are. And this is, and I deserve to receive money for the work that I do. So charging for what you do is really important to making sales. The next thing is that you need to believe people will pay you and value what you're offering. What we do instead is we think, I don't know, I don't think people can afford me, and I don't value what I'm offering, because we don't value our own gifts. And so we make these assumptions about the people that we have around us, which means that we show up from an energy of, these people can't afford me and I don't value what I'm offering. It's not worth any money. So just think, when we think those things about ourselves and the people around us, then the way that we show up is most likely we're just not going to make any offers. Most likely we're not going to attract people to us. We're going to repel people. Most likely we're not going to do the things to share ourselves, to show people how we can support them. So we have to look at, okay, what am I believing about the people around me? And also, what do I believe about what I'm offering? And you really want to turn it around so that you don't make judgments about people, right? Just on face value. Assume that every single person can afford you, and also assume that every single person values what you're offering because you value what you're offering. So write a list of all the reasons why what you're offering is valuable, and have that up next to your computer or somewhere in your office, wherever you're working, and remind yourself of that every single day. And that will then inspire you to show up in an energy that's actually motivated by what you're doing. The fourth tip is to show the value, right? Show the value of what you're offering. And the way that we show the value when we're communicating how we can support people is we show people what that transformation is and what that means. So for instance, when I am communicating the value of working with me in one of my business offerings, the value that I'm communicating is, hey, you right now don't know how to create what you want, and I can help you find that how based on my experience and all of the people that I've worked with in my own business journey and all of the investments I've made into my business knowledge. And so rather than doing all of that, you can just work with me and I can support you with what I know. I'm also supporting people go from feeling confused, feeling maybe overwhelmed or unsupported or coming up against themselves, to having a transformation. And that transformation is feeling more confident, having the impact they desire, making the money they desire, realizing those dream business things that they desire. It's also feeling more aligned, creating more space in the business. So it's really important that I communicate all of these things. So the value is, rather than you going out and trying to work out how to solve this problem that you're not actually aware of what the problem actually is, rather than you going out and spending countless hours trying to work it all out from all of the free content all around you, rather than you having those blind spots where you can't see what those blind spots are, and then, sort of taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back, or standing where you are and too scared to move forward. create that space for yourself by creating a container for your transformation. And that's what I provide as a coach. So you, with whatever you provide, have to be able to explain the value. Why is it so valuable, right? Why is what you offer so valuable to your soulmate client, not to your mom and your dad, your friends and your family, to your soulmate client? Why is it valuable? And what is that transformation that you're offering them? And there are many different ways to explain it. The way I just explained the value and the transformation there is one of about 100 different ways I could explain it. And it's only a small aspect of the value, right? Because for all of us, the ripple effect of the transformation that we're offering is so huge. It's so big. If someone changes in their life, they change all aspects of their life. And then it's the ripple effect on their communities, the people they have around them, the day-to-day things that they do, where they're heading, like all of this we are impacting. So we need to be able to show that to the people that we're here to serve. And then from that place of understanding and seeing that, they're able to make an informed decision about whether this is what they want to invest their money into. The fifth tip I want to give you today is not to take no's personally. So we have to, as business owners who want to be successful, make friends with failure. Every single person that you see and deem as successful have had and are having failures. The reason why I know this is because they would not be where they are without them. If we are too scared to fail, that means we don't try. And if we don't try, we'll never see the results that we desire. So to make sales in your business, you have to be prepared to learn what does and doesn't work for you. You have to be prepared to try and have things not work out. You have to be prepared to show up and feel silly because you don't really know what you're doing because you've never done it before. And that's okay. There's only going to be a first time in your business where it's the first time you're making sales. This is a beautiful time, right? It's one that you'll always remember. And it's one that you pushing through that fear is going to support you with trying new things in all areas of your life. And most importantly, it helps you to show up and be yourself, to show people who you are, which is great for every single person around us. When you be yourself, when you celebrate yourself and share yourself, that gives permission to every single person around us. And we have to remember that the biggest way we sell to our community is by being an example of what we're selling. So for instance, it's really important for me to talk about what my business is like. It's important for you all to know that I have this business that's aligned with my cycle, that I work on my mindset constantly, that I use my inner voice, that I make the money that I make, that I work with the clients that I love working with, that it looks like this and it allows me to travel and the freedom to do whatever I want and to be financially independent and make all of my decisions without ever needing to consult anyone in my life, and to have a team and to do these dream things that I've always wanted to do. I need to share that, even though I have to overcome my own mindset drama of nobody wants to hear that. You're being too full of yourself. You need to be, like back in the background and not making a big fuss about things. No one wants to know about how much money you make. No one wants to know about all the achievements you had. Like my mind is constantly saying these things as well. But I've done so much mindset work that I know, okay, this can exist, and so can my other beliefs, which is the only way that I can serve people is by actually communicating what's possible to them. So that allows me to push through the discomfort and to speak, right? And so throughout my business journey, it's just gotten easier and easier and easier. In 2020, this is the first year that I've really spoke a lot about money. And that was really uncomfortable. At the start of the year, I don't want to talk about any of this. I had so much resistance because I still felt that I would be judged. I thought I would be, it was shameful for me to talk about it. I wondered what my friends and family would say. We're on these public platforms and I was really scared about that. But I knew that it was really important for me to talk about this because I want, particularly women, but everybody, to make a lot of money. And I know that it's an important part of our life that we allow money to come in. It's just energy. It's just a form of energy that's flowing around us. We can either say yes or we can say no energetically. And so we want to say yes because why not enjoy the abundance of the world? It doesn't take anything from anyone else. It allows more for everyone else. And you got to see this when it comes to your clients as well. When they invest in you, they are investing in themselves. Immediately, when someone invests in themselves, they say yes to themselves. They say yes to the universe, right? They say yes to abundance. They say yes to their expansion and up-leveling. And so without even working with you or using whatever you're offering, they start to automatically align with the opportunities they want to align with. So I know the quickest way for me to have better results in my business is just to go and work with someone, because immediately I open up the energy and I make that decision from a place of self-trust and belief in myself. So it's incredibly powerful. And every time I work with my clients, I say, okay, just be on the lookout now for how your energy has just opened. You'll have opportunities landing in your lap. You're going to have things coming through. So say yes to them, right? Allow them to come through. And it's really exciting to hear the stories. So you have to be friends with failure and not see it as failure. It's just learning, right? It's just data. And not take no's personally. If someone says no to your offer when you make an invitation and someone says no, that doesn't mean that you're a failure and not good. It says nothing about your worth. It even says nothing about your offer. That is just an independent decision that's been made by someone that is all about them, okay? It's nothing about you. And sometimes we'll have people who are just like the perfect clients. We know we can support them, but they're still a no. And if it's a no, you just have to trust that. Of course, after you help them through seeing where the decision is being made from. And if it's still a no, you have to trust that it's just not divine timing for that person, or that maybe they need to learn it from someone else, or maybe they're going to loop back around to you. And so you're abundant. So it doesn't matter if they say no, because there's always someone else who's going to be there for you to serve. And so rather than spending all of our time trying to convince the person who's a no, we just want to say, no worries. If you change your mind, I'm here when you're ready. And then focus our energy on the other, like millions of people that we can support. So don't take no's personally. They say nothing about you. They're just the other person making an informed decision about themselves. You are worthy. You're wonderful. Your offers are going to help to change the lives of the people that you're serving. And there are people out there right now who are waiting to work with you. The other final thing I'll say here is that the way that we can sort of get over ourselves, and when I say get over our mind, really, our mind is that aspect of ourself. The way that we get over our mind and the blocks is really reminding yourself that by doing that, by feeling uncomfortable and allowing yourself to move forward and make the offers anyway, you're actually supporting that person that you're going to serve to have the transformation that you know is so incredibly valuable. Because often we're sharing a transformation that we've experienced. So just feel into how that's changed your life, what that's meant for you personally, and know that every single time you push through the fear and you make an offer, an invitation, and you charge for that, you're allowing all of this incredibleness for that beautiful client as well. And that makes things just a little bit easier. But the best thing you can do is just take one step every day to move forward and make those offers. Ignore everything else and just move forward and make an offer. And that is how you start making sales in your business.
So there you go, my beautiful friends. I hope you enjoyed today's workshop. I know that if you go out and apply what you've just learned, you will start making sales in your business. So go out there and allow yourself to do so by trying, right? By giving yourself the gift of experimentation and trying. Allow yourself that gift. And I can't wait to hear your stories about how this supports you to start working with your soulmate clients and receiving money into your beautiful business.
And I'd love to hear from you about what resonated most for you from this training. Take a screenshot of you listening to this episode right now and then head over to Instagram and tag me on stories at Leticia Ringe and let me know what resonated. Let's continue the conversation there so that I know how I can continue to support each of you as we move forward together. I also want to remind you that I invite all of you who would love my support and a beautiful container as you start making sales in your business to head to leticiaringe.com/CYBB mentorship to check out my 4-month mentorship that is kicking off in February. It's the only time I'm going to be offering this year. So if you'd love to join us, head over there, check it out. If you've got any questions, feel free to email me at leticia@leticiaringe.com. And I'm so excited to work with those of you who are called to focusing on selling together in your beautiful businesses. Finally, if you would like to join us in the holistic business community, this is where I hold trainings like the one that you listened to today. It's totally free. It's for you if you are devoted to doing business holistically, which includes financially thriving. So if you'd love to join a community of people who are devoted to that, just like you, head to leticiaringe.com/community. Come hang out, come connect, and you'll enjoy some great trainings there whenever I hold them. All right, my beautiful friends, I love you all very much. I wish you all a wonderful week, and I will see you in our next episode.
Hey, if you're ready to create your very own purpose-driven business too, I invite you to check out my online program, Create Your Beautiful Biz. You'll learn how to create a business that allows you to make your difference and thrive. Just head over to www.leticiaringe.com/CYBB. Let's make creating a business beautiful. I'll see you there.